Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Rabin here. Today we will be doing our first session of our solo play campaign with Tommy Jason Oliver. So let's begin. We begin in our room with our mother calling to us. Tommy, wake up. It's time for you to come eat breakfast before your father talks to you. Today's your big day. We wake up. Mother, stop bugging me, please. I'd like to sleep more. Tommy, you need to get up. The council and your father are waiting. So, we'll get up. We'll walk down the stairs. We'll grab an egg and some bread, wash it down with some water, walk outside of our little 2-bedroom hut that is on the small island that we live on. As we walk outside, it's a nice day. There's lush forest in front of everything. The sun is so high in the sky that everything seems as if it's the hottest point in the day, and yet it is just morning. We see our father and our uncle standing outside in the forest line waiting for us. And as we look up towards our dad, he looks and says, "Boy, hurry up. The council is waiting. And if you are late again this year, you will not obtain a voice." So we are running as fast as we can to go and catch up as our father and uncle leave into the woods and don't care if we are left behind. And as we enter the woods right here, our dad and uncle is nowhere to be seen, but we can hear them both say, "Hurry up, boy, the end of the trail is a days away. You've got what you need. Meet us at the council building so the ritual may begin." Alright, so now we are in the first layer of the dungeon, which is a forest. Each one of these squares is going to represent 10 feet. The height is 30 feet for the trees around us. And every room we go into, we're going to roll percentiles to see if we run into anything. On a 49 or lower, nothing happens. On a 51 or higher, we run into something. On a 50, we re-roll. And I have my notes over here on what happens. Let's see. We got a 63. So, a 63 is... Alright, we have a creature appear. Let's roll a 1d6 to see what appears. A 1. It's a giant beetle Now we'll roll 1d6 to see how many giant beetles we see. That is a 5. Now we will roll to determine their armor. A 5. So that puts their armor at an 18. We'll roll for their, see what their damage. Their damage is 1, so a d4. And their health, 6. So their health is 25. Alright. So we don't know any of those statistics as Tommy. All we know is we walk into this forest that our uncle and father just left us in, and we know that apparently they made it through, maybe past these bugs, maybe fighting these bugs. And there's 5 of them, and they are giant. So we are going to try and roll for our stealth, because we have a +6, to see if we can sneak past these. And we'll set the DC to 15 to see if we can sneak past them through hiding from tree to tree as we walk past. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. A 13. So, as we're trying to hide behind the trees and sneak from tree to tree and make sure they can't hear us, the crunching of the tree branches and the leaves beneath our feet alert. Let's see how many of them it alert. All 5 of them. Okay. So it looks like we're going to go into combat, and we'll roll an initiative for all the bugs, and then all for our character. Let's see. And they got a natural 20. We might die in the first episode, folks. The die are not on our side tonight. Let's see. We got a 13 plus our dex, which is a 4, so 17. Yeah, even if... Alright. So, they are going first. And let's see. As the giant beetle notices us, it stands there, and they all start to kind of scutter forward, and one of them puts its chompers out, because they're like Hercules type beetles, and it is going to try and attack us. 14 does not hit. Alright, so it used 1 combat point to move up and 1 combat point to try and attack. It's got 1 left. It's going to... Alright, a 19. A 19 does hit. So let's see, a d4. It got a 4. So as it scuttles up to us, it chomps down on one of our arms, and Tommy screams, "What is this forest?" And we take 4 damage, putting us at 30 health. Alright. And now it is the other beetle's turn, and the other beetle's going to try and attack us. It's going to use a combat point to move up, and then use a combat point to try and attack us. And it missed, and then it's going to use another combat point to try and attack. 15, that misses. Alright. The third one is going to do the same. It got a natural 20, so it lands a critical hit, which means it maximizes its damage dice, and then it doubles it, so it deals 8 damage as it chomps down on our already wounded arm. We're at 22 health. Alright. Fourth one. Let's see. An 11 that misses. And a 3 that misses. Woo-wee. As it goes to chomp down, we go to move and duck out of the way, but we slip and fall and dodge due to pure luck. Our arm is so injured. Last one, a 16 that misses, and a 6 that misses. Alright, let's see. It's our turn. We'll say we moved our 30 feet, and we were trying to move around the bug, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We'll say we're here now. And then, let's see. We're going to try and use our animal handle, since we have an animal handle of a 19, to try and persuade these bugs to stop attacking us. And we'll say the DC is a 12, because these bugs are actually normally not hostile, and we just scared them by making a loud noise. And a 2 plus our 19, that's a 21, that's plenty enough. So we are able to speak with these beetles and convince them that we are not hostile, we're sorry, we're just trying to get through the forest to get on to do the voyage trial. And one of them, in its little beetle voice, is like, "Are you the one that failed last year because you didn't show up on time?" "Yes, that's me. I'm normally too lazy to do any of this adventuring stuff. I would just rather stay at home. But Father says I'm a man now, and I need to take life seriously." And the bug says, "Well, good luck, boy." And it scuttles off. Alright, so we will move our 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, our 30 feet, and we will come into a area of trees that goes from being wide and in a spherical shape to a narrow pathway that's thick on both sides, with the sun beaming down on the path that lie ahead. So we are now here. Let's see if we encounter or see anything around this area. A 51. Alright. We see something. Let's see what it is. It is another person. Alright. So, as we're walking down the path, we walk by another person from our village that waves and says, "Hey, Tommy, don't be late. Your trial's tomorrow." I know. No, seriously, don't be late, or you're going to be the only one in the village without a voice. And that makes Tommy a little nervous and upset and excited and angry all at the same time. And so now we come into another big opening in the woods. And let's see if there's anything here. A 67. And let's see. Wrong one. That one. A 3. Alright. Our choice of an enemy or NPC. I have a bunch of different charts over here that I'm picking from different ones each time to make things more random and fun. Let's see. Let's do 1 and 2 is an enemy. 3 and a 4 is a NPC. 3 NPC. Okay. So as we get into this big opening, we'll say we catch up to our dad and uncle. And then as we catch up to our dad and uncle, they both look at us and they go, "Boy, what took you so long? The trail is like a 10-minute walk." And I look up and say, "What are you talking about? I was attacked by 5 giant beetles. Look at my arm. It's all mangled." And then I remember, oh wait, I have some health kits on me. And my health kit is what I'm going to flavor my trained feature as, to heal myself. 5 plus my highest con mod, or my highest ability mod, split as much as I want each day, or 5 times it. So 5 times 5 is 25. So I'm going to heal myself for the let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage that we took, bringing us back up to our 34, and bringing our 25, so 24 divided in half is 12, so we have 13 left to heal from for the day. And then, alright, let's keep on adventuring. we'll go, and now we have our dad and our uncle, so let's roll them some random NPC stats real quick, just in case we run into anything. So we'll do our dad first. We'll do HP. Oh, he got a 6, so 25. Uncle's HP 4 is 15. Damage for dad is 2, which is a D6 plus 1. And then damage for uncle is a 5, which is a D12 plus 2. And then armor, dad's is 1, which is 10. And our uncle's is 4, which is 16. Alright. So, as we're sitting here and talking, we'll see if anything appears in the forest. 98. Alright, let's see. One is a fungus creature. Alright, let's see how many appear. 2 of them. Alright, cool. So, as these 2 fungus creature appear, Tommy starts to freak out because he's barely ever left the house and the small area around it. And as this mushroom looking creature with slimy tendril arms and brown skin with a neon orange mushroom head and purple eyes starts to walk up with another one behind him, and he starts to make murbling sounds, and he reaches his hand out. Tommy drops to his knees, panicking, as his dad and his uncle just wave and start to continue walking through the forest. Tommy, freaked out by these monsters, is going to, as he falls back, pull and draw his arrows and try and fire at one of them. And so let's actually let's see what they've got real quick. And alright, an armor of 14. Ooh, 1d10 plus 2 damage. And health. Another 6. 25. Alright, so let's see if we can hit this 14. Yeah, no. We only rolled a 6. So as we fall to the ground and draw our bow and shoot our arrows in panic, and it shoots past the mushroom guy and then hits our uncle in the shoulder. for 6 damage. And he screams, "What the fuck, boy? These things are harmless." The mushroom man starts to turn back, and he looks at my uncle, and then he looks back at us, and he reaches his hand out, and he touches us in the forehead. And as he touches us on the forehead, visions start to rush through our head like he's trying to communicate with us. And it feels as if it's forced at first, and then we allow it to happen. And as we allow it to happen, we hear the voice of the mumbling become clear. And the mushroom says, "Why did you fire an arrow at us, boy?" And I just look up and say, "Because I've barely ever left the house, and you terrified the shit out of me." "Fair point. Go. Be on your way before we feed you to our kin." And we will get up and go ahead and go and catch up with our dad and uncle, and then we will continue moving through. And let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And we come to another opening. But as we come to this opening, we can see that it leads to 2 pathways where the trees are straight in a line in front of us, as if the path continues forward. And then halfway down the path, it branches off, and it looks like the trees start to go to the right. So we will roll a d4 and decide if we're going straight or to the right. A 1 and a 3 is straight forward, and a 2 and a 4 is to the right. That's a 3. So we will go to the right. 5, 10, 15, 20. And as we come across the corner, we will roll to see if there's anything in this massive opening of trees and roots and vines, as the squirrels are starting to skitter and run away in all directions. Oh, wrong dice. These ones. And 11. So there's nothing. The squirrels are just running around and playing. Alright. So we will go ahead and 25, 30 finish out our feat, and then we will end there for the night. Thank you, everyone, and hopefully you will join us for episode 2 as we try and continue to get through this forest to obtain our first Voids creature and hit level 1. May you all go from being peasants to owning palaces. Like, subscribe, and join us on our adventure.